Picture this, you and I speeding through Earth's most impossible roads. A spiral of asphalt stretching like infinity. A path that vanishes into the ocean twice a day. And yes, the infamous death road. Chills yet? Which of these dares would you face first? Thrill, fear, or pure wonder? Let's find out. Imagine a road so mysterious it doesn't simply exist. It appears and then vanishes. This is France's Passage du Gois, a 2.56-mile stretch that connects the island of Noirmoutier to the mainland. But here's the twist. This road is at the mercy of the ocean itself. Twice a day, without warning, it drowns beneath the tide. One moment, you're driving across an open causeway, the sea glittering at your sides. The next, the ocean swallows it whole. It feels less like a road and more like a challenge whispered by nature. Do you dare cross before the sea claims it back? Would you risk everything for the thrill of racing time itself? This isn't just a modern curiosity, it's history carved by water. First appearing on maps as early as 1701, the passage began as a fragile sandbank path, trodden on foot and cart. By 1840, it was paved, a lifeline for locals, a lure for travelers. But no matter how humans tried to tame it, the tide always wins. The difference between low and high tide here is nearly 13 feet. That means this entire road can disappear beneath crashing waves in minutes. Minutes. Drivers only get a brief window, an hour, maybe two, to make it across. Miss it, and your car becomes a trapped relic of the sea. Over the years, countless vehicles have been stranded, some swallowed whole. Rescue towers stand like lonely sentinels along the way, offering desperate travelers a last chance to climb above the rising water. Can you picture it? Water rising fast, your car sinking, your only hope a ladder reaching toward the sky. Even when exposed, the road is no gentle cruise. Slippery seaweed and algae coat its surface, making every step, every tire rotation, a gamble. Locals may glide across with confidence, but for newcomers, it's a heart-pounding dance with danger. And yet, that danger is exactly what draws people in. Adventurers from around the world come not just to see it, but to feel it. The suspense, the beauty, the raw unpredictability of nature versus man. So tell me, would you trust your timing, your instincts, your nerve to conquer the Passage du Gois? Or would you step back, watch the ocean erase the road before your eyes, and wonder, what secrets still lie beneath those waves? One thing is certain. This is no ordinary road. It's a living reminder that no matter how far we've come, nature still decides when the journey continues and when it ends. We now climb into the clouds of Bolivia, onto a road that doesn't just test your skill, but your very will to survive. They call it North Yungas Road. The locals have another name for it, Death Road. And trust me, once you see it, you'll understand why. Stretching nearly 60 kilometers, this winding path snakes down from the icy peaks of the Andes, 4,650 meters above sea level, into the steaming green chaos of the Amazon rainforest at just 1,200 meters. In that single descent, the world transforms around you. Foggy mountaintops give way to lush jungle, but one thing never changes: the cliff. Always at your side. Always waiting. Built in the 1930s by Paraguayan prisoners during the brutal Chaco War, this road was meant to be a lifeline between La Paz and the Amazon. Instead, it became a gauntlet. At its narrowest, it's only 3.2 meters wide. Just wide enough for one vehicle. Now imagine meeting a bus on that ledge. One must reverse. One must risk everything. And below? A 200-meter vertical drop. No guardrails, no second chances. For decades, this road claimed lives daily. Crosses lined the route every 100 meters, silent witnesses to tragedy. By some counts, 200 to 300 people perished here every year. Imagine driving, knowing the wreckage of those who came before still rests in the jungle below. Would you keep your hands steady on the wheel, or would fear grip your every move? The rainy season makes it worse. November to March, torrents of water turn dirt into a slick trap. Landslides thunder down from above. Fog blinds you, headlights vanish in the mist. One wrong turn, one tire slipping, and the mountain decides your fate. Until the 1990s, this was the deadliest road on Earth. And yet, today it draws thrill seekers. Cyclists from around the globe flock here, chasing the ultimate adrenaline rush, pedaling through hairpin bends where death waits inches away. Some laugh nervously, some cry. All feel alive in a way few places can deliver. So here's the question I'll leave with you. Would you dare ride the death road with nothing but two wheels between you and eternity? Or would you stay back, heart pounding, watching others vanish into the mist? One thing is certain, North Yungas Road isn't just a highway. It's a test. A legend carved into the cliffs of Bolivia. A place where courage and fear ride side by side, and the line between life and death is as thin as the road itself. From the deadly cliffs of Bolivia, we now climb into the beating heart of the Italian Alps, where danger takes a different form. Here lies Stelvio Pass, a masterpiece of stone and asphalt. Not feared for deathly drops, but revered as a stage where human ingenuity and nature's grandeur collide. Imagine it. 48 hairpin bends, stacked like coiled serpents, twisting with such precision they look carved by the hands of a watchmaker. Each turn demands control, skill, patience. One slip of focus, and the mountain will remind you who's truly in charge. Can you feel your hands tightening on the wheel already? At 9,000 feet above sea level, Stelvio is more than just a road. It's a living performance. The Alps rise like titans around you. Glaciers gleam in the sun. Valleys plunge below in sweeping arcs of green and gold. Every corner you take unveils another cinematic frame. Have you ever seen beauty so sharp it feels almost unreal? Now, picture this. A sleek motorcycle slicing through the switchbacks, its engine echoing through the peaks. Or a sports car gripping the tarmac as its driver leans into each curve, adrenaline surging with every bend. This is not just travel. This is theater. The mountain is the stage. The road, the script. And you? You're the actor in a role written centuries in the making. But Stelvio isn't without challenge. In summer, traffic thickens. Cyclists, motorcyclists, and tourists all converge here, turning the pass into a ballet of metal and motion. Speed limits are enforced, not to spoil the thrill, but to preserve it. Safety becomes the invisible hand guiding chaos into harmony. Still, nothing can tame the thrill of conquering Stelvio. For some, it's a bucket list drive. For others, it's a rite of passage. And for all, it's unforgettable. So, I'll ask you this. Would you take the wheel, your heart racing as you climb through each legendary curve? Or would you stand at the summit, breathless, simply watching the dance of machines against the majesty of the Alps? One thing is certain, Stelvio Pass isn't just a road. It's proof that when humanity dares to carve through mountains, the result can be nothing short of sublime. From the elegance of Italy's Stelvio Pass, we now leap across continents into the raw, untamed heart of the Himalayas, where beauty and terror walk hand in hand. Welcome to Zojila Pass, a road so breathtaking, so perilous, that even seasoned drivers whisper its name with a mix of awe and fear. At 11,575 feet above sea level, this pass is more than just a road. It is a lifeline. Carved into the cliffs of Kashmir, it connects the lush valley of Srinagar to the stark, frozen deserts of Ladakh. But calling it a connection almost feels too simple. This road is survival itself. It carries food, medicine, fuel, everything needed to sustain life in one of the harshest regions on Earth. Imagine the pressure on every driver who dares to cross. Would you shoulder that responsibility? Could you? The history of Zojila is as dramatic as the road itself. In ancient times, it was a trade route linking India with Central Asia, caravans winding their way through snow and silence. But in 1947, it became the stage for one of the boldest military maneuvers in history. Indian troops, against all odds, drove tanks through this frozen pass to reclaim it during the First Indo-Pakistani War. Tanks, on a road where even trucks hesitate. Just pause and picture that for a second. Today, the road remains as unforgiving as ever. A dirt track in many places, barely wide enough for a single vehicle, clinging to the mountain with nothing but thin air and a fatal drop below. Landslides roar down without warning. Avalanches can bury the route for weeks. Snowstorms sweep in so fiercely that the pass shuts down for months at a time, isolating entire communities. And when it reopens, convoys inch forward, hugging cliffs, honking desperately at blind corners, knowing that one mistake could mean oblivion. Locals who've grown up here guide outsiders through its chaos, their instincts sharpened by years of experience. Still, the danger never disappears, it only waits. The government has launched projects to tame the pass, including a 14-kilometer tunnel that promises year-round access. Safer, yes. But some whisper it will also erase the raw, terrifying magic that makes Zojila legendary. So I'll ask you, would you dare cross this pass, where avalanches thunder, cliffs loom, and history itself lingers in the ice? Or would you step back, content to marvel from afar, heart-pounding just imagining the ride? One truth remains, Zojila Pass isn't just a road. It's a battle between man and mountain, survival and surrender, fear and courage. And every journey across it writes another line in a story as vast and eternal as the Himalayas themselves. From the icy cliffs of Zojila, we descend into a land where wilderness rules supreme, Tasmania. And hidden here, carved into the bones of the mountains themselves, lies a road with a name as biblical as its challenge, Jacob's Ladder. Even the name feels otherworldly, doesn't it? A staircase not to heaven, but one that tests your courage on the edge of the abyss. Picture this, an ascent so steep, inclines clawing past 25%, where every bend feels like the earth is daring you to keep going. Your palms tighten on the wheel, your heart drums in your chest, and with every twist you feel the weight of gravity pulling you backward. Be honest, would you take the wheel here, or would you surrender the driver's seat and hold on for dear life? The road coils upward like a serpent, each switchback sharper, each view more staggering. Look left, sheer cliffs dropping away into nothingness. Look right, jagged rock walls pressing in, daring you to brush too close. And above all this danger, the reward, panoramas that look like they've been painted by the gods themselves. Lush valleys, raw wilderness, ancient rock rising against skies so vast it makes you feel both infinite and impossibly small. But Jacob's Ladder isn't just a road. It's a ritual. Every turn demands focus, precision, nerve. Every curve feels like threading a needle with your life on the line. And yet, there's something magnetic about it. Something that calls adventurers back again and again, as if conquering this climb is a rite of passage etched into the soul. And then the stories. Local legends whisper of a figure named Jacob, a wanderer who braved these cliffs in search of hidden treasures. No proof, no maps, just tales carried on the wind. But isn't that the beauty of it? A road becomes more than stone and dirt, it becomes myth. So let me ask you, if you stood at the base of Jacob's Ladder right now, staring up at that dizzying climb, would you take the first step? Would you dare the serpent's path to the sky? Or would you stand in silence, awed, knowing that some roads aren't just meant to be traveled, they're meant to be felt? Because Jacob's Ladder isn't only a road in Tasmania. It's a journey into fear, wonder, and legend itself. From the dizzying heights of Tasmania's Jacob's Ladder, we now plunge into a world where danger doesn't come from cliffs or avalanches, but from steel wheels cutting straight through the heartbeat of a living market. Welcome to Thailand's Mlong Railway Market, a place where daily life, tradition, and raw adrenaline collide in a spectacle unlike anything else on Earth. Picture this, vibrant stalls overflowing with tropical fruit, baskets of seafood glistening in the sun, the air thick with the scent of spices and street food, and then a sound. A low rumble. A bell. The signal that something extraordinary is about to happen. The crowd shifts. Vendors move with lightning precision. Umbrellas fold, awnings retract, baskets slide back as if choreographed by unseen hands. And then it appears. A massive train crawling forward, slow but unstoppable, slicing directly through the heart of the market. Can you imagine standing there, just inches away from its steel body, feeling the ground tremble beneath your feet, hearing its horn echo through narrow alleys while people around you barely flinch? Would you hold your ground, wide-eyed, heart-pounding? Or would you step back, clutching your breath, unable to believe this is real? This is no staged show. This is survival woven into routine. Since the railway was built in 1905, the people of Samut Songkhram didn't abandon their marketplace, they adapted. They turned danger into rhythm, chaos into performance. 8 times a day, every single day, this living dance repeats. And when the train finally passes, the umbrellas open again, the produce slides back onto the tracks, and life carries on as if nothing ever happened. It takes only minutes for the train to roll by, but those minutes feel eternal. Suspense. A brush with danger so close you can smell the iron, hear the scrape of metal against air. Yet accidents? Rare. Because here, precision is survival, and instinct has been passed down for generations. So I'll ask you this. If you stood in the center of Mlong railway market as that train surged toward you, would you hold steady like the locals, or step back in disbelief? One thing's certain, this is not just a market. It's a living miracle of balance, danger, and everyday resilience. Just when you thought the chaos of Thailand's Mlong railway market was the pinnacle of adrenaline, the earth opens up to reveal a highway so audacious, so defiant, it feels like it was carved by the hands of gods and mortals working together. Welcome to the Kakorum Highway. Locals call it the 8th wonder of the world. And honestly, they're not exaggerating. This road doesn't just connect Pakistan to China. It stitches together 2 civilizations across 800 miles of impossible terrain, threading its way through the spine of the Karakoram Mountains, home to K2, the savage giant, the second highest peak on Earth. Now imagine this, a road perched at altitudes so dizzying it touches the clouds, rising to 15,397 feet at the Zojila Pass. The wind is razor-sharp, the air thin, the drops endless. Would you dare to drive it? Or would you freeze at the edge, staring into an abyss that swallows light itself? The Kakorum Highway, known simply as the KKH, wasn't built easily. It was forged. 20 years of relentless labor, storms, landslides, and avalanches tried to erase it. Over 24,000 workers fought the mountains. 1,100 never returned. Every curve of this highway carries their sacrifice, etched into the stone. When you drive it, you're not just traveling, you're riding on history, on bones, on blood. But this isn't only about danger. The KKH is breathtaking, too, an odyssey through the emerald valleys of Hunza, alongside rivers that shimmer turquoise under sunlight, past ancient villages where hospitality feels like stepping back in time. And then, towering above it all, the Himalayan titans, Nanga Parbat, Rakaposhi, and the silent, snow-draped walls of eternity. Still, beauty comes with risk. Landslides crash down without warning. Rockfalls thunder across the road. In winter, snow and ice lock the pass in silence. Even today, driving here is like wrestling with the elements themselves. So let me ask you, if you were behind the wheel with cliffs on one side and death on the other, would you keep going? Or would you turn back, leaving the highway to those who crave the edge of existence? The Kakorum Highway is not just a road. It's a dare. A living reminder that sometimes, the most dangerous paths lead to the most unforgettable wonders. From roads that twist reality itself, we now cross into Japan, where a bridge rises from the earth like some colossal roller coaster built for cars. This is no ordinary crossing. This is the Ashima Ohashi Bridge, a feat of engineering so audacious it makes drivers feel like they're not just on a road, but climbing into the heavens. Look closely. At first glance, it doesn't even look drivable, it looks impossible. The incline is so steep, so surreal, that your eyes almost refuse to believe it. 6.1%. Doesn't sound like much, right? But when you're behind the wheel, staring up at that ascent, it feels like the ground itself has tilted, daring you to conquer it. Would you push the accelerator, or freeze, gripping the wheel as your heart thunders in your chest? But here's the secret. This design isn't just about spectacle, it's about purpose. Beneath the bridge, massive ships glide across Lake Nakami. The steep gradient ensures they pass undisturbed, while above, life flows seamlessly between Matsue and Sakeminato. Before the bridge, ferries carried people across the water, weather permitting, time-consuming, unpredictable. But this steel giant has transformed everything, linking communities, fueling economies, shrinking distances. And oh, the view. Imagine cresting the top, your car weightless for a breathless second, and suddenly, an explosion of sky and water. The vast mirror of Lake Nakami stretches into forever, shimmering beneath you, framed by distant mountains and horizon lines so clear they feel painted. On bright days, it's almost too much for the senses, a living postcard that unfolds in real time, just for you. So I'll ask you, if you were there, hands on the wheel, staring down that jaw-dropping incline, would you feel terror? Or maybe, just maybe, the thrill of knowing you're driving one of the most extraordinary roads on Earth? The Ashima Ohashi isn't just a bridge. It's a leap of faith, a reminder that sometimes, to connect two worlds, you have to build a road straight into the sky. If the vertigo-inducing slopes of Japan's Ashima Ohashi Bridge made your pulse race, brace yourself, because the Lemonali Highway is about to take you on a journey that feels like flying along the spine of the world itself. Imagine a road that snakes through mountains so colossal, their peaks pierce the sky, their glaciers gleaming like frozen cathedrals. Every twist, every turn, is a heartbeat, a thrill, a reminder that you're alive in a world where nature commands awe and respect. High above, at elevations exceeding 17,000 feet, the air is thin, sharp, and intoxicating. Can you feel it? That subtle tug in your lungs, the way your heartbeat syncs with the rhythm of the mountains themselves. Each bend reveals another masterpiece, valleys stretching endlessly, rivers cutting silver threads across rugged terrain, and sunlight cascading over jagged cliffs. Driving here isn't just travel, it's an epic, a cinematic adventure where you're both audience and hero. But let's not romanticize danger. It lurks in every shadow. Landslides can block your path without warning, winter snow can trap you for hours, and altitude sickness is a silent, invisible foe, testing the body and mind. Yet, the journey demands courage. Do you pause in Keelong, a humble village offering a breath of acclimated air? Or do you push on to Sarchu, where campers huddle under the stars, feeling the raw pulse of the mountains beneath their feet? Each stop is both sanctuary and challenge, a necessary pause in the symphony of adventure. And the story of the road itself is legendary. Built by the Border Roads Organization, this highway was carved with precision, patience, and sheer human will, connecting remote regions, supporting military logistics, and proving that even the harshest terrain can be tamed. BRO teams battle snow, avalanches, and crumbling cliffs to keep this lifeline alive, ensuring that thrill-seekers and locals alike can traverse the mountains safely. So I ask you, if you were behind the wheel, looking at a road that vanishes into clouds and cliffs, feeling the mountains breathe around you, would you drive cautiously or embrace the raw, unfiltered thrill of the Lemonali Highway? Every mile here is more than distance. It's courage, wonder, and the indescribable magic of the world at its peak. From the soaring cliffs and dizzying heights of India's Lemonali Highway, we now plunge into a world of frozen isolation, the James Dalton Highway in Alaska, where survival and courage walk hand in hand. Imagine a road stretching 414 miles across one of the harshest, most unforgiving landscapes on Earth. This isn't just a highway, it's a lifeline carved through ice, snow, and rugged wilderness, a place where nature dares you to challenge it, and every mile tests your limits. The Dalton Highway, built in 1974 as a vital supply route for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline, is mostly gravel, slippery, and treacherous, especially in winter when temperatures can plunge to a bone-chilling -60 degrees Fahrenheit. Can you feel that cold? The kind that bites through clothing, that demands respect, that turns even the bravest heartbeat into a drum of adrenaline? One wrong turn here isn't just dangerous, it could be fatal. Yet despite the peril, this road exists as a testament to human resolve, a ribbon of ambition winding through a frozen frontier. Sparse, desolate, and awe-inspiring, the highway passes through barely 3 towns, Coldfoot, Wiseman, and Deadhorse. Gas stations are rare. Medical help is almost non-existent. Lodging? Limited. Every driver is left to their own devices, confronting the wilderness in a way that few roads on Earth demand. Landslides, uneven gravel, sudden storms. These are the hidden challenges waiting for the unprepared. Every mile traveled is an encounter with raw, unyielding nature. And yet, there's beauty here, haunting and majestic. Endless tundra, icy rivers, snow-clad mountains stretching into the horizon. Wildlife, caribou, wolves, maybe even the distant shadow of a bear, cross the road like echoes of a world untouched by humanity. Driving this highway isn't just transportation. It's an intimate, pulse-pounding dialogue with the wild itself. So I have to ask you, if you were behind the wheel, engine humming against the wind, horizon disappearing into ice and sky, would fear grip you, or would awe take over? Every mile is a decision, every curve a story, every breath a reminder that this is one of the most extreme roads on the planet. The James Dalton Highway doesn't just challenge you, it transforms you. Are you ready to take that journey? Imagine clinging to the edge of a mountain, your car creeping forward, headlights cutting through rough stone, your pulse echoing in your ears. Welcome to China's Guang Tunnel Road, often called the road that does not tolerate mistakes. And believe me, that title isn't just dramatic flair, it's a chilling warning. Stretching for just 1.2 kilometers, this tunnel seems almost ordinary at first glance. But the moment you step inside, it feels alive. Its walls are jagged, scarred by countless hammer strikes. No polished engineering here, only the raw, stubborn will of 13 villagers and their fearless leader, Shen Minjin. With nothing but hand tools, chisels, hammers, sheer determination, they carved into unforgiving stone. Year after year, blow after blow, until 5 grueling years later, a road was born. Can you imagine that? 13 villagers, against a mountain, and they won. Before this tunnel, Guang was a prison in the clouds. A village perched so high that reaching it meant climbing the sky ladder, steep, slippery steps clinging to cliffs, a nightmare in rain and a death trap in snow. But when the government refused to help, the villagers didn't give up. They decided, if no one would save them, they would save themselves. And they did. Step inside the tunnel today, and you'll see huge, uneven windows carved into the cliffs. They frame breathtaking views of the valley, but they also serve as a reminder, one wrong move, and it's a 1,000-foot drop into nothingness. Would you dare stop to admire the view? Or keep your eyes glued to the path ahead? Driving through Guang Tunnel Road is like entering another world. It's narrow, too narrow for comfort. 2 cars can barely pass. Drivers crawl forward, horns blaring at every blind corner, warning of unseen danger. Rainwater spills in through the openings, turning the stone into a slick trap. No lights, no safety rails, only your courage and your steering wheel. Winter blankets it in snow, summer brings rockfalls. Every season rewrites the rules of survival here. And yet, people come. They drive slowly, pause for photos, breathe in the impossible. 10 minutes inside Guang Tunnel can feel like an eternity. Some say it's terrifying, others call it beautiful. But all agree, it's unforgettable. So I'll ask you, would you dare drive this road of determination, this monument carved by human hands into living rock? Or would you step back, heart racing, content to admire from afar? One thing is certain, Guang Tunnel Road isn't just a passage through a mountain, it's a passage through history, courage, and the unshakable spirit of survival.